What's up, everyone? It's your boy Scott. Welcome to the Scott Reports. Today I'm bringing you an anime review of the Ancient Magus Bride episode 3. And if this series was trying to convince me to watch this series after 3 episodes, if it was trying to give me a taste of what it has in order to stick with it for the 3-episode rule, damn it, it passed, because this episode was hands down one of the best episodes I have seen all year. Seriously, it was just a beautiful episode, a well-written episode. And this series, in this short time, only 3 episodes in, is already in contention for Anime of the Year. It might just be my Anime of the Year. And that's just being completely honest with you guys, because the fall season is very solid, but nothing has hit me on a level that this series has, with the feels, the type of emotions that this series brings. It's just so heartwarming. It just feels so good to watch this series. And if Rakugo can't get Anime of the Year because I just got a feeling it's going to get looked over again, then I would be okay with this series getting in its place, because it's on that same level with the characterization, the drama, the feels, the music, the atmosphere, just everything that this series brings, and is done oh so well. In this episode, the feels, it's like I cannot take it. My heart cannot take having this and March Comes In Like a Lion on at the same day, because the feels are so strong in both of those series that you need to take a break. I need to watch something to break it up. Like, maybe I need to watch this series and then watch something like Vanishing Lion or Dragon Ball, and then watch Ancient Magus Bride, because to have the feels back to back to back like this, and you add Kino's journey into, or maybe I should watch it before Ruby. It's just done too well. It just leaves me in such a good mood. I just feel like it's just too good to be true. And I know I'm just talking about this overall, but this is how good this series is, as this episode dealt with something really big, something really major as far as the content, because it dealt with life itself and how life is a gift to some. And last episode we saw Chise was kidnapped, and it was by another mage by the name of, they called him Echoes, but I believe his name is Linden. And his ideal, what he was doing, wasn't as nefarious as it made it seem, because last episode made it seem like he was kidnapping Chise maybe for his own ideals, to actually use her because she's a slave baggy, but he was actually bringing her to the world of dragons to show her this world that we're in, because we're still building this world that this series has and showing her everything that it is. And Elias wasn't that far behind. I mean, it made it seem like at the end of last episode, like she was kidnapped, he didn't know where she was, but he was there the whole time, just making sure everything was okay. Similar in a way to what happened with the fairies back in episode 1. He was there just in case some things went bad, but he wants Chise to learn about this world, as the whole point of the series is the relationship that are being built between these two characters. And I really don't want to watch the OVAs now that the series is going, because I'm not exactly sure when the OVA takes place again. I only saw the first one, but I do know that it takes place like much after what we're seeing right now, because in the OVAs we see a Chise that is more seasoned and more familiar with the world around her, versus what we're dealing with right now is her learning step by step about the world she's in. But at the same time, I feel like I need to watch it because I want more in depth of what they're doing. But anyway, this episode showed us another race that is available to this world, or another type of creature, not race per se, which is the dragons. And there's different type of dragons, as we've seen. There's a dragon with wings, the traditional dragons that we know. There's dragons with feet, and then there's the third dragon that got the most focus, and I believe it was called a Ulio or Ulio. I'm terrible with the pronunciation of it, but this dragon in particular is a big honking dragon who is attached to the earth. And this episode dealt with a dragon that was passing on, because as they get older, you know, they get more grounded, they lose their ability to fly, but trees begin to plant over them as they are beginning to approach their dying breath. Their skin begin to wrinkle, and they just become a tree, more like a world tree. And it shows the life going in a big circle, like as they are into this world, they're born into this world, they get to explore it, love it, and at the end they become a part of the earth as they become a tree that grows and grows and grows. And the point of this episode is how beautiful this transition is to these dragons, because much like the dragons, they are a dying breed just like the mages, but they don't fear death like humans. They don't see death as something scary or something that they don't want. I mean, of course, no one wants to die. It still makes them a little bit sad and uneasy. But the thing is, they recognize this is a part of their life, and they recognize that when they die, they become part of the earth again, and then the next generation goes ahead and passes on. And the big thing about this episode is this dragon, this big honking dragon, along with the little dragons that we got to meet when we saw 3 different ones. It was just so cute because they were just like little babies, and they were happy to see Chisei. They got to play, and you know, she was running around with them. One was learning how to dive, and she was almost like the mother of dragons. That's how much they loved her. But I know I'm all over the place with this review. There's just so many good things about it. But the dragon mentioned that they don't fear death like humans. They see death as a gift because they got to live a long life, and they got to do a whole bunch of things and leave an impression on the next generation to want to live life just like they did to the fullest. And we know with Chisei, she has a very bad backstory, and again, the OVA is going to add a little bit more detail that we're going to get in the series, because we still got a long way to go. This is 24 episodes, and if this is what we have to look forward to, it's only going to get better. But we know that Chisei's life was so bad that she contemplated taking her own life at once. She was about to jump, and this dragon was able to look into these memories, and he was a little bit not really disrespected or upset, but he did kind of scold her. But like, that was very selfish of you to want to take your own life. Life is a gift. You should cherish actually getting to live, because you shouldn't envy the dead, because when someone dies, you would hope that they got to live their life to the fullest. They don't get to live anymore, versus when you're alive, you still get to see the world. You still get to see things. You still get to leave an impression. And again, that was the biggest part of the episode, is that you have to pass on to the next generation, as we get a bigger idea of what Chisei's role is in the series as well. Because since the mages are dying, Chisei is being taken on as an apprentice to keep the mage line going on, basically, because once Elias dies off, then he's probably going to be like the last one, unless he can get Chisei up to par, where she is in line to carry on the mage line, or at the very least be the last mage, as we learned in this episode. And her being a slay beggy and what that comes with makes her very dangerous, but very vital to the mages as well, because I have a feeling that this ability that she has to be a slay beggy is going to be a big part of how powerful she will be. As they keep saying, you know, if she doesn't learn how to control this, it's gonna tear her apart. And Echoes mentioned this as well. He was like, she needs to learn this, or she is going to be gone within like 3 months. So we need to get her up to par if she's gonna be your successor. And the dragon was saying, you know, you should cherish life. And just like with Chisei and how she is now with Elias, and even though she's uncomfortable because for all intents and purposes this is her arranged marriage, she doesn't know this person, she doesn't know this dragon, but the things that she's seeing, like this world that she's being put in, how nice she's being, how nice everyone's being to her, is something like she has never been used to before. And the beauty of it is even getting to her, because she is just so fascinated by his world. It's almost she's watching this series just like we are, and the things that she's seeing is just fascinating her and making her happy that she is alive and that she gets to see these type of things. And the way this episode went with pacing, that was done so well, because this dragon at the end of his life cycle was like, I can no longer fly, but what I can do is show you what it's like to fly from my point of view, as he was able to sync up with her and go into his mind, into this dreamlike state in his last moments, to show her how it felt to fly and soar around. And it was just so beautiful how it looked at the point of view of how it was just diving around in the sunset as he was flying in. And when that music kicked in, oh my God, this series is just so beautiful. I absolutely love it. And he used his last moments to show her how beautiful the world is and how she should cherish life. And the dragons, it was just so beautiful, because even the little dragons, they were happy. They were like, he is going back home. It's not a moment to be sad, because he's doing life's purpose. He is coming part of the earth again. as the tree is grown, and it just hits home on so many things, because if you know, death is a part of life. But if you had, like, you know, an older person who dies when, I mean, it's not right for anybody to die, and it's always sad when someone to die, but when people die when they're like 80, 90, in those, you know, they got, unless if they die peacefully, if they die like a natural causes or something, and not like in a drastic way, you know, they got to live a full life, and you can cherish all the time that they had, and hopefully they go out in a way that they can say, look, I had grandkids, I had great grandkids, I accomplished this, and you can be happy about that. And that's the same type of aspect that this episode put in. It was just done so well. And Chisei even questioned it herself. She was like, I don't know this dragon. I mean, I don't know who this person is, but what he showed me was so beautiful. And she just cherishes life so much after that. And the art, the direction, and everything about this episode was just so perfect. It's definitely a 10 out of 10. This series is amazing, guys. And before the dragon left, and before Echoes, you know, he put the seed into the dragon so the trees can form around it and make his last monument, or the place that it's going to be. He said to Chisei that you're going to be a mage, and a mage needs a wand. Take a branch from me, make a wand. And it was just like a way that she would never forget this dragon, this Ulia dragon. And Elias was like, you know what, when you're ready, we'll come back, we'll get a branch from him, we'll make your wine. But now we have to go on from here, because I said this before, it's probably going to get to a point where we get to see just how dangerous being a slave baggy is. I mean, I think we lucked up with Linden not actually being evil. Somebody's going to come after Chisei, and they're not going to have the best intentions. And the fact that these dragons and slave baggies and mages and things like that are kind of hidden from the world. Like, these dragons are hidden from the world, so someone won't come and try to poach them. Someone won't try to kill them out of fear or take them away. The same thing could very well happen to mages, and it probably have. I mean, we haven't really touched on why the mages are extinct, besides them being very old, which is a question that isn't exactly answered. It's just kind of danced around about how old these people are. But I think it will get to a point where the danger is going to come, where someone's either going to want to destroy these mages, these dragons, these mythical creatures, or it's going to be somebody. There's always an evil mage somewhere. It's going to be an evil mage or something that Elias is probably going to have to fight, who wants Chisei, which I thought was going to be this one character, but it wasn't. And that's when things are going to come to a head. We got a long way to go with this series. Again, it's 2 cores, so we're getting 24 episodes out of it, and all 3 episodes have been absolutely fantastic. I don't think it's going to dip in quality. If it does, it's just because it's going to be such a long series. You know, we might get some things that might be filler and things like that, but I think it's still going to be enjoyable. And guys, I absolutely love this episode. So does it pass the 3-episode test? Oh, hell yeah. It passes the 3-episode test with flying colors. I said that back in episode 1, but this is a confirmation. And I'm going to try to cover this as long as I can. I mean, I might miss an episode or 2 if things get too busy. But I think at this point, just like Inuyashiki, I think even if I miss it, I'll still come in and do it later. Just like right now, so much is on Saturdays that I just have to do it on Sunday, because Saturdays is just too loaded. I don't know why they load everything on one day, but I definitely love this series so far. Definitely recommend it. And if you know somebody that's not watching this, then recommend it to them, because this is one of those series that can change how you look at anime. And we're getting that same feel that we got from Made in Abyss, where it was just built up so well and so captivating that you absolutely love it for what it's for. And it's showing us a side of fantasy that, of course, we do see often, but it's executed so well that it is among one of the best. And I cannot wait for when this season is over to see where it stacks up, because once again, I think we have an anime of the year contender, if not winner, with this series. So guys, let me know what you thought of this episode in the comments below. If you liked the video, go ahead and drop it a like, and if you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If there's not shortage of content you indulge on this channel. As I always say, you guys can be anywhere on YouTube right now. Just chose to listen to me. I really appreciate that, so thanks for stopping by. On that note, it's your boy Scott signing out. See you soon.